Hi everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com, and I'm excited to share with you some fun outside-the-box ideas that I came up with using the contents of Stampin' Up's September 2016 Something Good to Eat Paper Pumpkin Kit, because that's what I do. I love creating alternate project ideas for my personal Paper Pumpkin Kit subscribers and all of you, because I'm passionate about this product. These kits were initially designed over 3 years ago with beginning crafters in mind, but they make such great projects just with the directions that already come in each kit that any level of paper crafter would love them. Now, I like to share other ideas that you can create with the kit contents. That way, if someone doesn't want to make the intended kit project, they can go beyond and make something else. These are the items that came in this September 2016 Paper Pumpkin Kit. The step-by-step photo direction pamphlet, and the supplies for making 16 festive test tube treat containers. Stickers, labels, twine, tubes and corks, glue dots, this old olive which is an earthy green ink pad, and of course this fabulous stamp set. Now if you intend to make the projects as shown, all you need is your clear block for using with your stamps, and this gets shipped with your first kit, and a scissors. I'm diving right in because I'm excited to share. Keep in mind that most of the extra tools and products that I use in this video can be purchased directly through me. They are listed below in my video description and linked to my online store. Also keep in mind that you can click in the middle of my video and it will take you directly to my blog post where I've shared even more information about Paper Pumpkin Kits of Creativity and close-up photos of the projects that I'll be creating. If you watch this video and discover you'd like to give these kits a try, you can click on the subscribe to Paper Pumpkin link below. Normally, the kits are $20 per month, but new subscribers can take advantage of our BOGO sale going on now through October 10th. Plus, if you subscribe with me as your demonstrator, I will send you extra ideas each month that are exclusive to my subscribers only. Let's get started. The intended project with this kit is super simple to put together. Let me show you quickly. So you'll punch out a tag that you want, and you'll notice that you have lots of tags to choose from. There's the cat, there's the cauldron, the pumpkin, the sunflower, and then you also have blank tags, and you have plenty of tags in case you make mistakes. There's also plenty of these sticker strips. These are little banner sticker strips. So you'll pull one of those off, you'll stick it on the front of your test tube, like so. I'm going to get it straight. And then you'll put the candy in. And you'll cork it, and then you can stamp one of your cute tags. So we'll take our block and we'll take our stamps, something good to eat, and then you can take your old olive ink pad and you'll ink up your stamp. And after you've stamped your tag, you're going to take the glue dots that come in your kit and you'll place them on the back side. You'll set this on top of your tag, like so, and then you'll take some twine. And a little trick with the twine is just run your fingernail across it, and that will get all the kinks out. And then you can either tie a knot or a bow on the top of the cork. And it's as simple as that. You can make a bunch of them for the upcoming fall holidays. I like to look at all parts of my kit and try to figure out how to use it to the best of my advantage. And this kit came with all the test tubes and corks inside this large plastic bag. So when I was deciding to crush some candy canes down for a fun little gift idea, I decided I'd use this plastic bag instead of diving into my Ziplocs in the kitchen. So you just take a hammer, you put your candy canes inside there, and I'm keeping them wrapped up because that'll just give them extra cushion. And then you just start tapping away. And you end up with a bunch of crushed candy. We're going to pour those into one of our test tubes. And I ended up filling a test tube with just under 2 of those little crushed candy canes. So they go far. And then I filled these with some cocoa and some chocolate chips, some mini chocolate chips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this blank tag that has the gold rim around it. And I'm going to stamp that with something good to eat. And this time I'm pulling out another color of mine in my stash called Real Red. Then you'll take your paper piercer, or you could even use like a push pin or a little tiny hole punch, and you'll just make a hole towards the top. And that's where we can put the twine. And now I've pulled out my Real Red stitch satin ribbon, and I've just cut off enough to tie a knot around these 3 test tubes. So I'm just going to pull them all up together. And I could put adhesive between them, but then the hostess, whoever I'm giving this gift to, would have little sticky stuff all over. So if you can just kind of hold them snug as you tie them together in a knot, then you don't have to worry about that. Now how do we get the tag on? Well, we have this little spot right here that we can slip our twine through. And depending on the length of the twine, you can either tie a bow or a knot right here. And then we'll just shift these all and cut off the ends of our ribbon. And there we have a fun little gift to give somebody at the holidays. Here's another version of that. If you don't want the peppermint, you could have marshmallows instead. This would be my son Luke's favorite. And here I tied a bow instead. Now if you're looking for these marshmallows, I found in the grocery store this huge container of little mallow bits. So, you know, I'm not sure if this is really that healthy, but it's not. But he will love it when I can put it in his cocoa. And then here's another option too, if you don't want to crush candy canes. They do sell little decorators for cakes that have a peppermint flavor to them, and they look like little peppermints. But I thought this was a really fun way to go. So, fun gift for Christmas coming up. This is another part of the kit that a lot of people just overlook. It is the cardboard insert. You can use this in your projects too. And this one measures 9, a little over 9 by a little over 6. So I'm going to cut out a 3, let's see, we'll cut it this way, a 3-inch square. And because my paper trimmer is not that deep, I have to kind of get it started with the trimmer and then finish it with my scissors. But this will create a very nice backing. Okay, next I'm going to put some fast fuse adhesive on here. And I told you on the last project you don't want to put adhesive on it because it'll get all over the test tubes, but with this one we're going to put 5 together in a row. So we sort of need to have that reinforcement. Okay, so now we've got a cardboard backing on there, and we're going to wrap some paper around. Now what I've got in the test tubes this time are basically cookie decoration pieces. So again, we pulled out that peppermint sprinkle stuff, and we have some white sprinkles, some different colored sugars, and some of those mini chocolate chips. So if you're going to, say, a cookie decorating event, this would be a great gift to give the hostess as a thank you. You know, Thanksgiving and Halloween are also a little bit closer, so if you wanted to use fall little cookie decorations inside those tubes, you could do that instead. What we need now is some paper to wrap around the test tubes to decorate it. And so I've got this fancy frost designer paper that comes in our holiday catalog, and there's some texture to it. There is a little snowflake pattern on this design. So I'm going to zoom back out. I'm going to trim an 1-inch strip of this designer paper. And we'll just use that to wrap all the way around. And now we'll do some ribbon around. This is more of that red stitched satin ribbon. We're going to put it off to one side. And again, we'll tie a knot. That's always easiest. Unless you love to do bows, you can do that instead. And then the next step is to take our already stamped with Something Good to Eat using basic black ink, stamped on one of the blank banners, and we're just going to put a dimensional on the top and bottom because we kind of want it to hold the ribbon in place too. So if we put it there, it will keep this ribbon there. It'll hold everything right where we want it. And there is a fun gift to give to your cookie decoration party hostess or host. Now I want to share with you that a clever gal named Donna Kish came up with an idea that she shared in the Paper Pumpkin fan club on Facebook. And she used the 3x3 white boxes that are in the holiday catalog and made a holder for 4 test tubes. So I love that idea so much. I did not have those boxes on hand, but what I do have are my super, I love these so much boxes, these clear ones that are 2x2. And again, they come with this film. So you just take this off all the way around and you're ready to assemble. But these are our clear 2x2 boxes that I've used in past videos on other projects. So I'm going to go ahead and fold up the base of this. So you take the bottom and you're going to put in the U-shaped side first. And then you're going to bring in these parts. These are little tabs that come in and they click right in place. And then this last one, give it a good crease here, is going to slip right into that slot. And now you've got the base of your box closed. So then what do we do to hold that test tube? Well, we don't just stick it in like that, although you could. But we're going to close it on the top too. And before we do that, we're going to find the center point. So I've taken a 2x2 piece of typing, or now we call it computer printer paper, and we're going to fold that in half and in half again. And this is a quick way to find the center of a 2x2 square. So let's take our paper piercer again, and a mat, and the cover of our box. And we're just going to lay that right on that 2x2 cover, and we're going to use the center here and poke right through, just like that. That's marking the center of our box top. Then we'll take our 3/4 inch circle, the circle punch. Did you see my little post-it note? Little garbage came with that there. Okay, so now we're going to punch, and I'm centering the circle that we've just pierced into the bottom there. Do you see that? So it's centered within that circle, and now when I punch, and you got to punch it pretty hard, now we've got, come on out, there we go. Now we've got a hole on the top of our box. My cheeks started turning red. I was embarrassed. I was thinking, oh my gosh, my punch is going to be totally stuck. Okay, don't worry about these flaps that are in here because those are going to actually do a little bit of reinforcement so that when we've got our tube in there, it's holding it nice and tight like that. Okay, so now we've got a holder, and it's so wonderful of a holder that you could actually take flowers and fill this little container up with water and hold your little flowers inside a vase on a table. So could you see that as a lovely wedding decoration on tables? You know, for the fall weddings coming up, that would be a great way to decorate. You could even just put like those candies in here and have them as place settings for any gathering that you have coming up. So great idea. If you wanted to even, you could fill this with something coordinating, maybe some of that iridescent looking paper strip things that you use for packaging, you know, those little scrunchy things. You could put those in there. You could fill it with beads, flowers. It just, lots of ideas come to mind. But I think it's just awesome that now you have a very simple way to hold your test tubes so that they stand up. Now my little post-it note that was stuck to the piercing mat, actually was going to remind me to tell you, because I don't have any wire at home, I was going to tell you that another great way to display flowers is by hanging them in trees for some fall event. So you could take these test tubes and you can take really strong wire. I don't even know what gauge. I had some and I can't find it in the house. I'll try to find you a picture. But you're going to take and start at the bottom and make little coils all the way around, and you'll just wrap and wrap and wrap and wrap. And when you get to the very top, you'll just make like a little loop-de-loop, and that will be where you put the string, and you'll hold the string on there. And then you can set your flowers inside again and have them hanging from little trees or stuff like that all the way around whatever room or outdoor area that you're decorating. So just another way to decorate. There you go. That's why I had that Post-it note. Okay, we're going to get a little more complicated now. We're going to actually add some cardstock because cardstock does not come in the kit, so you're going to need to get some cardstock. And color is totally your choice. We're going to make a holder that, I'm going to show you the pattern for this. Isn't this cute? We're going to make a little holder for your test tubes so that you can have them freestanding. And we can do that with even more test tubes too. You don't have to just stop at a holder for one. So let's start with a 3-inch wide strip of cardstock. And this cardstock is going to be 3 by 9.5. After you've got that, then you're going to shove it down to the end and we're going to start scoring. And we're going to score at 1 1/8. Then 4 1/4, then 6 1/4, then 7 1/2, then we'll go to 8 5/8, and then we're done, except we're also going to put a little divot right down in here. So we're going to put our, and we're doing it at the end where the two scored sections are really close together. So we're going to just put it right up to the 1/4 inch mark here, and we're going to trim off a little bit right in the middle. And this is just going to help with our punch. And then we can take our scissors, little paper snips, and then we'll just trim in there like that. Now that doesn't have to be even or pretty or anything. I did that on purpose so that you could see that that is not going to be showing. So let's set that aside. And let's take out our bone folder or your fingernail or whatever you want to use, and we'll just reinforce all these score lines going in one direction all the way. I got this pattern idea from someone named Ellen Hudson. She had this on a little stand like this on Pinterest. It was for a totally different size test tube, so I just modified it for the test tube that we have. So thank you, Ellen. Let's grab that 3/4 inch circle punch again, and now because we have this little divot here, we are able to go right into the center of this section here. But we need to pull our paper trimmer back. I forgot. And we need to find the middle part of, here we're going to go this way, the middle part, because we're going to go to 1 1/2 here because it's a 3-inch wide piece of paper. We're going to go right down the middle and we're just going to make a little pin prick with the cutter blade here. So you'll just center that over the section and push. And then we'll center this over this section and push. Okay, you don't see them now, but I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to take the white chalk pen that we have, and I'm just going to make that dot even more prominent with the white chalk pen, because it's actually kind of hard for me to see too. There we go. So now, when we go back in with our punch, we can find that center and we can punch it out. Do that at both ends. We'll grab our fast fuse adhesive and we're going to put that along this edge here. And we're going to wind that in and around like so and connect it right there. And that's our holder, basically. And it works. Watch, it really works. It's crazy, but true. There we go. So now we can decorate that however we want. For this one, I took a portion of one of the tags. I actually took a half of one of the tags and I just stuck it down here. Added some twine, and it's curly because I just used my fingernail a little bit harder. Actually, I think I used the side of my scissors like you would with curling ribbon when you package presents. Same thing here. I just took the scissors and I really ran it through so that it kinked that twine up. These candies, they're gross. My kids love them. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Sour Punch Bites is what I used to stuff inside here, and I actually purposely squished these down so they looked even more disgusting in there. And then on the inside, I have a piece of old olive cardstock. It's 2 inches wide by 3 inches here, and I stamped it with the basic black ink, and then just stuck it on the back, and that's how I got that to decorate and match that fun little vial of candy. So now I'm decorating the container, and I've got here a 1 1/4 inch by 3 inch piece of pumpkin pie cardstock, and here I have a 3 inch by 2 inch piece stamped with pumpkin pie ink, the Happy Halloween to You, and then I've got the pumpkin pie ink for the pumpkin. The stem is soft suede and the face is done in basic black ink. These are inks that you can get in my online store, or sometimes they come in past paper pumpkin kits. So if you're a subscriber, you continually, you start collecting more and more inks. So I've got some twine here, and I've just started curling it with my fingernail, and already I've noticed that it's kinking up. So that's how you get that look. You just run it with either a scissors or your fingernail. See, look at that. Is that awesome or what? So we're gonna go ahead and add that. This time we're going to add this piece to the bottom. And you could see that I used the scissors on part, my fingernail on part. It's not a real tight curl, but if you let it sit for a while, it'll kind of just stay in place and kink up. Did you notice that this test tube has these stamped faces on it? How did I get that? Well, instead of using the basic black for this face here, I could have used the StazOn as well. StazOn Jet Black is a great ink to have, but I don't recommend it for the totally clear stamps because it's a solvent-based ink. And over time, if you're not washing it off and cleaning it off really well, this is just staining, of course, but so I clean mine in between. But if you're not, this can kind of eat away. The cleaner does a lot of damage too. So you'll want to, for the StazOn ink, just use this sparingly if you're going to use it on the totally clear stamps, and then clean it off. I just use the Stampin' Mist if I clean it right away. You can use the StazOn cleaner that you can get with this, but then after you've used the StazOn cleaner, like I said, you need to clean that off. So it's a very touchy ink, and we don't want it to hurt our stamps. So this is how you do that. You grab a test tube, you grab your stamp, and instead of holding the stamp like this, which is what I initially tried doing, I'm going to turn it over, and I'm just going to run my test tube along here like that, and it picks up the face. It's a slippery surface. Oh, I'm using the test tube that had water in it. That's okay, it's on the inside. But yes, you'll want to ink and then right away stamp onto your container. And be careful because it, again, is slippery, and so it'll move around on you. But that's how you get that look. Now let's say you slip too much, which is what I did initially, then you can take some rubbing alcohol and just like a little applicator and wipe it off. And you can do that at any time. You can wipe that off like days later if you want to. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to pull in my cleaner, and I'm going to clean off my stamp really good. We do sell these. You can get a cleaner and a little cleanup scrubby thing. Okay. So that's how I got that. And now we have two cute little holders. Would you like to see how to get them a little bit bigger? So let's set them aside. Let's take our paper trimmer back out again. And this time, you're just going to change the width. So again, we're going to stick with the 9¼ inch, oh, sorry, 9½ inch for the length. But this way, we're going to go and vary it. So if you want to just hold 2 test tubes, we were at 3 inches, you could probably get 2 in there if you wanted to, but you might want to go a little wider to say 3½. The one that I'm doing is 4¼ and then you do the same measurements for your scoring all the way through. So those would be 1⅛, oops, right here, 1⅛, 4¼ 6¼ 7½ yeah, 7½ and 8 5/8. Same thing here, you'll have to give it a little trim, so just go up to the 1/4 inch mark on this side and just slice through the middle there. Take your paper snips, your scissors, and cut that out, and that way your punch will be able to be inserted all the way. And then of course you measure. So half of 4¼ is 2⅛, so you'll come in and you'll make those little dot marks right there and right here in the middle of those 2 sections. And then I just went to the 1 inch mark, I believe, I think. I'm gonna say that's what I did. Yes, that's what I did. So the 1 inch mark, and then do the same thing. Just push it down, flip it around, do the same thing, the 1 inch mark, and you'll push it down. Then you'll take that white gel pen to make those little dots stand out and emphasize those. And then when you're done and you've punched out those 3 circles, you can assemble. You'll have a holder for 3 test tubes. Fabulous. Again, thank you so much, Ellen Hudson. So there's that, and we can decorate that up and do something with that later. I have more ideas with the test tubes, but you're going to have to watch part 2 to see those. For now, I'm going to do some cards, and I'm actually going to just demonstrate one, and then I'll show you the other 3 that coordinate. So for the cards, I'm going to use some crumb cake note cards with matching envelopes, some old olive ink. I'm also going to bring in a stamp set called Falling Flowers, although you can totally use just the stamp set that comes in the kit and make some great cards too. But I wanted to use this because it reminded me of a pumpkin patch design. And then we're going to use some dimensionals. So let's go ahead and shove all this stuff out of the way except for our, oh, I'm sorry, and the gold thread too. We need to have some gold thread in there, of course, gotta have sparkles. So let's open up our old olive ink pad and ink up this large stamp that comes in the Falling Flowers stamp set. And we're just gonna stamp that along the left edge once, flip it around, and we'll stamp it again up here twice. We'll set that aside for a minute, and we're going to bring in our paper trimmer, and we're going to cut a piece of 1 3/4 inch by 5 inch cardstock. We're going to add that. Might as well use our fast fuse because that's the extra adhesive we're bringing in here, although you could use your glue dots that come in the kit. We're going to add that along the right edge so that our swirly design is kind of like peeking out. Okay. Next, we're going to take our tag that comes in the kit. We're going to stamp a little message on there. We'll flip that over. We're going to add some adhesive to the back. So again, let's just stick with this, and we'll put this all along the back side of this tag. Now if you have moist hands, be careful. I think I had, of course, got a little ink mark on there. I'm going to redo this. Okay, now we have a cleaner tag. That always happens, right? To all of us. Okay, so now that I've got adhesive on the back, and I actually switched it out to snail adhesive rather than fast fuse because the fast fuse was just clinging to my hands and I couldn't manipulate it. I'm going to take the gold thread and I'm going to just make some loops on the back here. with the gold thread. Just so it's peeking out. And then we'll trim off the excess. We'll set that aside, and we're going to put some dimensionals on the back, and you're going to slather it with dimensionals because you don't want this thread to move, so you're going to kind of put it everywhere. I have to tell you, just in case you're hearing any sounds from the outside, you know, vehicles, lawnmowers, it just happens to be that the days that I choose to videotape, I don't know, people are enjoying the outdoors. We only have a few days left here in Minnesota, so you know, I can't blame them. They're out there getting road work done. Yeah, it's not fall, it's road work season here in Minnesota. Okay, so now we just press that down right in the middle of our card, and there is our beautiful, simple little card. Here's some other versions. So I did that same ink color, used basic black here, but I used the green here. But I used the basic black thread, so we have a shiny black thread too. I didn't think it showed up too much on this though, so I switched it back over for my other Halloween card where I used the crushed curry ink because of the eyes on the cat, and then I of course put the gold in there. No Tricks, I masked that stamp so that I had just the No Tricks showing, and then I masked the other part of the stamp when I put the Just Treats on the inside of that card. And then my last one is actually my favorite. I think this one looks just fabulous. There is the sunflower, a happy hello to you with the gold. And then this is soft suede cardstock. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Basic black soft suede cardstock. So, I hope you liked all these projects. Be sure to get signed up so that you can get paper pumpkin kits. $20 a month, which includes shipping costs, gets you fun surprise kits of creativity. You can do them alone to get in your me time, or you can share them. They make great gifts. And the boxes don't take up much space, so you can live in the smallest of places and still enjoy crafting. Right now, Stampin' Up! Is having a special for new subscribers. Buy one, get one free. It's our BOGO sale, and it runs through October 10th. Click on the link below for more details. There's really no excuse not to get signed up. If you start up a subscription, but then you decide it's not for you, you can cancel after your free second kit. There's no commitment. Thank you for watching. It builds creativity to think outside the box. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can catch more paper pumpkin videos that I've shared using past kits and more that I'll share with future kits. Also, be sure to visit my blog at stampyourartout.com so that you can view close-up photos of these projects and see photos of other paper pumpkin kit ideas. If you're watching my video on YouTube, look for links in my description below. And to see some extra exclusive projects, get your Paper Pumpkin subscription started with me as your demonstrator. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.